Hey there guys, what's up? So, last week I released a video, a cinematic travel video of Switzerland with some of the footages I took back in 2018. But the thing was that those footages weren't that great, so I really had to make up to the quality of the video with my color grade and I wanted to do something different. So I did this really cool effect with the text being embedded right into the video, as you can see over here. So this is a pretty simple technique you can implement on your videos, and it's not that hard. It takes just 10 minutes or something, but I don't see much people doing this very often, so I thought I could share with you on how to do it. So in this screen you could see that I have two videos over here, one that comes in the initial cutscene and the other one is the Grindelwald drone shot. So for this effect you need to do it, you need to take this to After Effects. So what you do is you click this and you right click and give replace with After Effects composition, and then After Effects will open up. So once the video has loaded into After Effects, what you have to do is first find this tracker option. So if it is not there in your right side over here, what you do is you go to Window and you make sure that the tracker is selected, and then select your video and give track camera, and you might have to wait a couple of minutes depending on the length of your footage. So once the camera analysis is done, you would get this 3D mapping of your footage where it will create these points depending on your camera's movement, and you can use some of these points to create a plane, and using these planes you could embed the text right within the video following your camera's movement. You'll get what I mean in a minute. So what you do is you find one of a stable point in your video. So over here I could just take any of it. So I probably want to take these three, this plane, yeah, and you right click and give create text and camera, and once it's done you would get this text thing over here, and you select the text tool and type whatever you want. So I'm gonna type here Switzerland. Yeah, so I'm gonna just change the font to the same one I used in the video, and I'm also gonna increase the tracking. Probably I'll keep it like around 20. And now what you want to do is you can either go to the transform option over here or simply press P and you get the position option, and always move your text using these positions. So what we'll be doing is we'll be moving to the center somewhere in the middle, maybe somewhere over here. And maybe I'll bring it down a bit, and probably I just want to push it back a little bit. Yeah, seems fine. And now we have to rotate it in such a way that it's almost like standing up in the same angle as the trees. So again you select this and you give R, or you could simply go to transform and you get the orientation XYZ rotation. So in the orientation tab, what we'll be doing is, you could see like we can now rotate the text based on the axis. So we want to rotate the text based on the x-axis. So you just play around with the settings until you find what suits. So I'll just quickly do what I intend to do. Yeah, so right now it looks pretty neat. So we'll just roughly run this through. I'm gonna reduce the quality a little bit so it renders, and you could see that the text is following the motion of the camera. Now one thing I want to do is that I want to bring the text up a little bit so it doesn't look like it's covered around the trees. So once you're happy with the orientation, the position of your text, you could simply just close this, could just save and close this, and you can see that in Premiere it has already updated. Yeah, you can see that it has updated here already. It might take a minute or two, but yeah, so it's, yeah. So we're gonna do the same thing with this text like quickly, and we'll see. So it's open here in After Effects, and we'll do the same thing. I'm gonna go to track camera. So for this effect, I would always say that you need to have a lot of texture and contrast points in your scene for After Effects to create 3D points. If not, you cannot create this stabilized text within the scene. If there's also a moving object, make sure you have not used one of the points on the object as your reference point. Since the object is moving, the text will also float around here and there along with it. So it's always good to have something that's solid and stable on your scene. And as you can see that this video, this scene has plenty of contrast that we require. There's a lot of houses and there's a lot of black points, white points. So I'm pretty sure that this will create a very good 3D mapping. So now that it's done, we could see that all the points in this scene. So I want to place my text in this region where you could see it's pretty empty. So let's create a plane using this. Yeah. And same thing, right click, create text and camera, and you will get the text over here. So in this part of the video, I have actually used the font Bebas Kai. So I'm just gonna use the same thing, and we're gonna repeat the same thing again. So we're gonna go to rotate. So first we're gonna go to rotate and make it seem like it's standing up. So yeah, and then I'm gonna push this back a little bit sideways and bring it down. So just play around with the settings and find the sweet spot that suits your project and your work. And I'm gonna adjust the position of this. So you might take a while until you find what exact numbers you're happy with. So I'm kinda happy with this one, even though it's not perfect, like it would do justice. Yeah, so you could see that it almost looks good, almost. So one of the problem we might have here is that after we color grade this white and the white points over here and the white text would not create much contrast. So what you could do is that you go to effects and presets and type drop shadow. So drag it and drop it over the text. Play with the positions a little bit. I'm going to increase the softness. I will bring down the opacity. So now it makes it a bit more realistic with the shadows, and it also gives the illusion as it's almost it's grounded over here. So without the shadow, it's almost as if it's like floating somewhere, but with the shadow it gives you a sense of illusion that it's almost grounded here. So once again it would be updated over here. Might take a couple of minutes, or probably you just have to save it and just close it. And yes, so remember that this effect will consume a lot of power and processing power from your computer, so be ready to give all it requires. So just clear your temporary files and everything, because it's pretty heavy because of the 3D motion tracker. But yeah, so hope you like this video, and if you haven't watched the travel video I made already, I'll link it up below so you could, and also let me know in the comments what you think, and if there's anything else you would like to make like me to make a video of, then yeah, drop it in the comments and I'll probably consider and make one of it. So thank you and see you in the next one.